The builder is an invisible cursor or pen that allows you to build complex structures in Minecraft. Using code, you can move this invisible cursor around and also use it to place blocks and also trace the path that you were drawing. In today's video, I'm going to show you the different ways that you can use the builder to design funky structures in Minecraft using MakeCode. So here I am in MakeCode. I've started a new project, and to find the builder blocks, we click under Advanced, and we've got the builder option here that has all of our commands in there. Above my head are the things we're going to look at today. We're going to take a look at the blocks that can be used and the commands that can be used to code with the builder, and then we'll try and create something using the builder. And I also want to give you an overview of the set origin function, which can be really useful in controlling the builder and its position in the Minecraft world that you're building in. So let's get started. I told you that the builder is like an invisible cursor or an invisible pen. I like to think of it as an invisible pen that you can actually place down and draw lines in the game and then either trace or fill those with blocks. So first things first, we need to use a builder teleport. So the builder teleport option allows us to send the builder, our invisible pen, to a location. So if I drop that in there, we always need to start with that. We're going to get it to teleport to our player's relative location. So it's right where we are. Let's go back into builder. We then need to place a mark. So placing a mark is like dropping that pen down, signifying that it's ready to start drawing its invisible line. This is where the fun starts now, and you can control the builder to build a structure. In class we've been looking at the concept of prototyping our designs, so building them in Minecraft first to get a feel and a sense of the size and the scale and the design of a building. So that is really useful. It can be a bit tricky at first to try and imagine how the builder moves, so I find it useful to have a prototype and use that to guide your coding, and you can always improve it as you go along. So we're going to move the builder, so let's go to move. This block here allows us to move it in single directions. If I click the drop down, I can move it backwards, left, right, up, down, and forward, which is the default option. So let's stick with forward. And we can choose how many blocks we move that forward by. If you watched my last video, you'll know that you can control this and the way the builder moves with a variable. And we did that when we used the builder to create a line in that variable video. I'm going to get it to move forward by 10. I can continue my code and have the builder move in other directions as well. So depending on your prototype and your structure, you may have it move in different directions. It's up, so let's move this one up. Let's go up by 5. Back into builder. We've got this option here to turn the builder, so we can actually turn its direction depending on what we're building. So let me drag that in. Let's get it to turn left, and then we'll have the builder move forward. So because we've turned left, this direction, this forward direction, will be different to the forward direction that we included at the top. So let's make it move forward by 10. Now I've got my code, let's take a look at it. Teleport the builder to my relative location, place a mark, so placing that invisible mark, and then move forward by 10, move up by 5, turn the builder left, and then move forward again by 10. So we've got our invisible line. Now I want to trace that line. So I'm using builder trace path from mark. So whenever I've placed a mark down, that signifies that I want to keep a record of that so I can actually trace along that mark. If I put some more move commands in after this block but didn't place a mark down, that would allow me to move the builder to a different location, and then I could place a mark ready to build something else. So let's change the block type, change it from grass. Let's go with something that stands out. White wool will work. So our chat command to run this code is the word run. Let me go back into Minecraft. I've just got a flat world that I use for experimenting with my code. So I'm going to bring up the chat commands and type the word run. And we can see now that the builder has moved forward by 10 blocks, up by 5 blocks, it's turned left, and then it's moved forward by 10. So you can see that I can start to build a bit of a structure here. Okay, sometimes you want to build a solid shape. And I can use one of the commands here to do that quite easily. And this is the builder move forward 1, up 1, and left 1. It moves in those 3 directions all at the same time. So what I'm going to do first, taking a look at my code, I'm going to continue on with this code. I'm going to move my builder before I place another mark, because I want to have it in a different spot and then build another part of the structure. So let's move the builder. Let's move the builder left by 5 blocks. We might make that 15. Let's go back into builder. Now I'm going to place a mark. This signifies that I'm ready to start a new part of the structure and fill that with blocks. I'm going to go back to builder. I'm going to use this 3-directional move block. So I'm going to drag that here. And I'm going to make a small cube. Make that 4 by 4 by 4. So that'll move in 3 directions. And I'm going to use a different block to fill that in. Rather than the trace, which traced the path, I'm going to use the fill. So that'll fill this with a solid, make it a solid structure, filled with blocks. Let's click on block type. Go with something that stands out again. Okay, so let's take a look at our code. So we're teleporting to our relative location. We're placing a mark. Again, remember, place mark signifies that you're ready to draw that line, that invisible line. Then we move the builder in the direction that we want our structure to go. And then we trace path. The new bit of code I've added moves the builder left by 15 blocks, places a mark, and then creates a cube by using the 3-directional move block, and then fill from mark with some orange wool. So let's go back into Minecraft and find a bit of open space, and we'll run our code. The word run in a chat command. There we go, it's pretty quick. And let's take a look. So it built that original structure again, but this time it moved left by 15 blocks, then placed a mark and built this solid cube. You can see if I go into that, completely solid. Well, now it's not. Got a nice hole in the middle of it. So you can see that with a few commands, we've been able to create a very random looking structure, but a structure nonetheless. Okay, so we've built a very basic structure using the builder. We've seen we use the trace command where we can trace an invisible line and backfill that with blocks. And then we've used that 3-directional move command to make a cube. Depending on the values I put in there, I can control the way and the size, the way that shape looks and the size of it. A little trick for you when you're using this 3-directional move block. If you want to move backwards instead of forwards, put a -4 in there. If you wanted to move down instead of up, you guessed it, -4. And right instead of left would be a -4. And that would then build that cube shape in a different location. So just a little trick for you there. Let's move this over to the side. Okay, we're going to look at the set origin command now, and we're going to use the builder and set origin command to build a small village farm. Be like the farm that you've seen when you've explored your Minecraft world and come across a village. And we'll build one very similar to that. So let's go to player, bring in an event, on chat command. Let's change that to farm. Go back to the builder, which is under the advanced option. The first option we want is builder teleport. So let's grab that in. So the builder has teleported to our location. At this point, we're going to introduce the new block, which is builder set origin. So you'll see there's two options there: builder set origin, builder teleport to origin. So we use the first one, the set origin, to update the builder and store in the builder's memory that original location that we teleported to, which is our player location. This is useful because then we can move our player around in the game and not have to worry that the builder is in the wrong location when it needs to go back to that original teleport point. And you want to do that because you might want to go back to the start of your building and then build in a different direction, but still have it part of that main structure. So it's really important to understand how set origin works. And as we build this farm, you'll see why it is important. Okay, so the next command we want is to place a mark. So we're signifying that we're ready to build. Let's drag that in there. Build a place mark. And now we want to move our builder using the 3-directional option to build our farm. We're going to move the builder forward 6. We're not going to move the builder up. I'm going to set that to 0 because I want this to be a one block high farm. I'm going to move it left by 8. So that gives us our dimensions. And as we used before, I'm going to use the fill, builder fill from mark. Let's put that in there. Now to make this look like one of the village farms that we're used to in Minecraft, I'm going to set the first lot of blocks to some oak wood. And we'll search for oak. I'm going to go in and show you what that looks like, so you can see how we're building this code step by step. Type the word farm. There we go. So we can see that it's built us a nice rectangle shape with those dimensions, the 6 by 8. And remember we used that set origin. So this point here becomes our origin point. The builder would have finished over at this point. So when I tell it in the next step to teleport to origin, the builder will come back here, ready for the next command. Let's go back to MakeCode. Okay, we're going to bring in builder teleport to origin. So let's drop that in there. So it's back to that starting point. Before I place a mark now, I want to move the builder inside of that rectangle, because I'm going to use a series of rectangles smaller than the previous to build this farm. So we want to move the builder not up, so we set that to 0. In by 1, left by 1, and then I'm going to place a mark. And now I'm going to build my next smaller rectangle using, again, the three-way move block. So let's drag that in there. And we're going to set that as 4, 0, and 6. And again, we're repeating the code above us in a very similar way. So I'm going to use the builder fill from mark. And we want to fill that with some dirt, ready to be planted in. Alright, let's go back into Minecraft and see what that's looking like now. Find some more open space. There we go. So we can see that it built that larger rectangle like we had over here, but the next part of our code has filled that in with another smaller rectangle starting to look like a farm. Now, if you've ever farmed anything in Minecraft, you'll know that what we need next is some water to allow us to plant and grow our seeds. So I want to run a strip of water right down the middle of this piece of dirt. So I'm going to use the same concepts again, using our teleport to origin, moving in and placing a strip of water. So let's pull in builder teleport to origin, back to that starting point. And we're going to use a three-way move again. Let's pull that in. And this time we're going to move forward by 3, up by 0, and left by 1. We're going to place our mark, signifying we're ready to get that water in there. Now I want to move the builder forward. Let's go and have a look. So we're now here. Our builder is right here. So it's moved across by 3, in by 1. It's sitting right here, the builder, and I want to move it forward by 6 blocks to place a nice strip of water in there. So let's go back to builder. Just going to use the single move function to move forward. Move left. Get that in the right direction, otherwise we will have water everywhere. Move left by 6. And back to builder. I'm going to use builder fill from mark. And the block type this time is not really a block. We're going to fill it with water. Ready for our seeds to grow. We could fill it with lava. Probably not a good idea. So we better go with water. Right, so let's take a look at the code. Build a teleport. Build a set origin. So it always knows to come back to that teleport now, regardless of where our player is. Place a mark. Move forward by 6. Don't move up. Left by 8. We've got a nice rectangle there ready for our farm. Filling with oak wood. So it looks the same as those village farms. Teleport back to origin, so back to that original location. Build a move forward, so it's moving inside of that rectangle, and placing a mark and building a smaller rectangle with dirt. Teleport to origin, move forward by 3, don't move up, left by 1, so again moving to the right location, ready to place our strip of water down the middle. Let's go and run it, see if it works. Find a bit of open space. And there we go. Got a nice strip of water down the middle. Sail down there. What we could do now, using code, is we could use the agent to till and plant seeds here. And that could be a challenge that you could try and replicate in your own Minecraft world. Okay, geniuses, we've looked at some of the basic functions of using the builder in MakeCode and Minecraft to start building some structures. I'd love for you to go now and use the builder to start building and creating some of your own structures using creativity and imagination and remembering that design thinking process. So you're really defining the problem, which is to build a structure, then looking at brainstorming, so ideating, thinking about what you might like that to look like, being creative, trying to be unique as well, and then prototyping. And once you've prototyped, going into the test phase by building your code, using the builder, and trying it out. If you have problems and it doesn't work, go back, try it again. Make sure you use this video as a resource, and I will see you in class.